Okay, so you saw the title. Now we're going to tell the story. Now, I think the story is very important, and I hear it all the time from different creators or business owners that want to get started on YouTube, or maybe even they've been on YouTube for quite some time and they're just like, is it worth it to like still continue to do it? Is it too late for me to get started? And they just get really discouraged because they see these very super large channels, people with millions of subscribers and really big production budgets, and they think, I could do that way better. Like, I have way better things to talk about, but either the algorithm isn't picking them up and they just think that the other person has all the market share, so like, why bother? Or they just think there's no space for them. But what I've learned is you don't need millions of subscribers, views, and such to actually get, opportunities, leads, sales from YouTube. So if you ever felt like you've been shouting into a void while someone else is holding a megaphone, I have a story for you. And it's basically a story from before I was a YouTube coach, YouTube strategist, and I was just a sophomore in college trying to survive a filmmaking class. Now, I've lived a million and one creative different lives, I feel like. I've been a videographer, a photographer, social media manager, graphic designer, website designer, an art nonprofit vice president. Like, I've done a few different things, but at this specific time, I was just a student. And so when I was in film class, I didn't really care so much for like the narrative cinematography stuff. I just like to tell stories, and I just like to do documentaries. I thought they were more interesting. And through a very supportive professor at the time, she loved my work and she saw something in it. So I was basically given permission to enter a documentary class. Now, I was too tired at the time to realize, but it was actually a very big deal. And it was because the class was strictly for graduate students and I was only a sophomore. And the space was limited to about 10 or 12 people. I can't remember the number. And the documentary professor had to jump through a few hoops just to get me sort of like access to be in the room. And at the time, I was juggling like a full time course load. I think I had a few clients on the side and a very high pressure job. I was a Scrabble coach in the Philadelphia school district, basically an after school group leader. I was exhausted. I still don't know till this day how I got through that period in my life. I don't think I was thinking about things. I think I was just doing them. Um, but yeah, the whole focus of the class was basically to create a short documentary, and that's what we was going to be graded on. So basically, just going through all of the processes, all of the production phases, and really, I guess, mastering that for documentaries specifically. And since I was already doing documentaries, I think that's why the other professor really wanted me to get in that class. So a limited time, so I'm like, okay, how am I supposed to make this big masterpiece? I don't have any time between all the other things that I'm doing. But basically, I just decided to save time and to make a documentary about my job in Philly. Now, it's a well known, heartbreaking fact that many kids in the Philadelphia school district cannot read above a third grade level. So I am from Philly, and I've worked with a lot of kids in Philly, and it's sad. So as a Scrabble coach, I wasn't just teaching a game, I was also teaching literacy through like competition. So I was coaching first to fifth graders all together. It could be about 12 to 20 kids at a time in the room with me by myself. And I also had to take them on trips to like compete against other kids in the city and for basically to compete for a spot at nationals. Now, the job was actually very fun for the most part, and I still volunteer sometimes when I have time, like literally till this day. But yeah, it was a very high energy. It was emotional. It was real. And my kids had a lot of personality, as you can imagine. They were funny. They were sharp, and our connection was deep because one, I had first of all, my grandma lived around the corner, so I lived about 5 to 8 minutes around the corner from them during this time. So literally, I could walk to work. It was awesome. So like I had grew up in that area. I understood the struggle, and also I was the youngest. So what I had not graduated high school like a few years ago, even though these were elementary kids. Basically, I was in the trench. I was in the trenches with them, and because of that, the relationship it kind of gave off this big sister energy. They'd open up to me. They loved being around me in my clubs. The only caveat to that is they would only listen when they felt like it. But then I also feel like that's just what kids do. It doesn't matter who you are. But yeah, other than that, towards the end of the class, we've been working on our big documentary projects all semester. And towards the end, there was this other student. And at the absolute last minute, he decided to pivot his project, completely scrapped the other one, which I don't even remember what it was, but he decided to do a documentary on his kids playing with Legos. It was literally the same storyline, just different kids. When I realized what he was doing, I was so heated. You could have probably fried an egg on my head. I was mad. I felt robbed. I felt irritated. I felt like my kids were being robbed. And I was I was emotional. But and I remember the day we showed our homework in that tiny little classroom, and you could have heard a pin drop when like his film finished. It was so quiet. I don't even remember if anybody clapped. Everyone in that room basically knew what happened, and they saw the Lego version, and they knew exactly where the inspiration came from. Mind you, I don't think I talked to that man. But as I sat there watching his film, I was like, whatever. It's a school project. Also, this is kind of boring. Like, you copied it, but it didn't steal the soul from my project. And yeah, there was no deep human connection. My documentary was honestly the better one because I was the one that was actually in the trenches with my kids, big sister energy. I understood their struggle, and I also let my kids tell their own stories. So half of my film was shot on my iPhone 6 at the time. So yeah, the camera, it just captured a bond that he couldn't really replicate, no matter how much better his equipment might have been.
I'm in the District of Philadelphia building. This is my first time here, and I'm probably going to win against my component. I'm very nervous, but I'm self-confident, people. Hey guys, I am my high-risk partner, aka she's my cousin. I feel nervous.
Fast forward to a few months after the class, COVID had happened. But the documentary went on to be in a film festival. The director of the Scrabble program in Philadelphia ended up sharing the news about my documentary on LinkedIn. And that one project, built on a foundation of original storytelling, ended up building relationships that have resulted in 4 and 5 figure corporate and nonprofit video production deals since I was in college. Still to this day, they still reach out to me. They even offered me a job actually. It's not what I wanted to do, so uh, I did turn them down. But um, they still kind of keep me on their list as like a good person to work with. They still remember me because of that video. And I'm telling you all of this because I feel like the Lego guy will always exist on YouTube and in real life. There will always be someone that's maybe a little bit more older, a little bit more experienced. Maybe they have a little bit more followers, better cameras, a better budget, whatever. They look better, whatever the case may be. It just might be better in your mind, right? But what I learned from that situation is that they can't steal like your identity and your lived experience. They can't necessarily steal the way your audience feels when they realize that you actually get them, and it literally cannot replicate the lived experiences that you bring to the screen specifically. And so, yeah, I mean, if you want to grow your channel to 1 million subscribers, I'm not going to stop you. Go at it. But you don't need that to basically show up, tell your story, and be able to get opportunities from it. And yeah, I feel like that was the lesson. That was what was supposed to be learned from that. And I just recorded this video. I'm actually going to insert some B-roll in this video of the project or something from that time. But anyway, if you are ready to start using YouTube to actually get clients, leads, opportunities, there are 2 ways that you can work with me. So one is you can join my free workshop and learn the exact type of content that brings clients, opportunities, and such from YouTube, not just views. I'm going to be talking about what to post, how to structure your videos, and how to turn content into actual results. And then second, you can get my Edit Like a Savvy Pro course. I do not talk about this course enough. I kind of just created it and promote it occasionally, maybe like twice a year, but it's actually really good. Like, it includes everything that I've learned from editing for corporations and high level brands and also from film school. Like, my whole exact process is in there. Now, my editing style is like, it's simple, it's clean, and it's basically designed to make your content look professional without overcomplicating the process. So I'll put both those links down below in the description box. And yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.